What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Ralphdatrader here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a short video. I would just like to break down the two trades that I took this past week on gold. I usually don't trade gold, but this daily signal was there and the setup that I look for was there. All right, so I took a trade during Asian session and I also took a trade during the New York session. All right, sorry for all the noise that you guys hear in the background, but I'm sitting outside on the balcony right now, so it's very windy outside. But I just wanted to make this video for you guys. All right, so like always, man, Stacy always hammer this into our heads. Markets only do three things. Okay, markets only do three things. They break out, they pull back, and they trend. Okay, they break out, they fail, and they reverse, or they stay in a trading range. All right, these are the only three things that a market does: breakout, pull back, and trend; breakout, fail, and reverse; or stay in a trading range. All right, just keep it that simple. Okay, now let's get into this the two trades that I took, and let me show you guys on the reason why I took these two trades. Okay, now as you guys can see here that on the chart on the left hand side I have the 15-minute time frame up, and on the right hand side I have the 5-minute time frame up. Okay, so now the reason why I took this trade during the Asian session, because like I said earlier, the daily signal was there. I had an inside day signal day. That was the daily signal. Gold goes on the watch list. Okay. What is an inside day signal? The inside day signal is when a market closes inside of a previous day's range. So the previous day's range is the high and the low. That is the previous day's range. Gold, all of the price action on that Thursday did not breach any one of these levels. So that gives us a inside day signal day. Okay. What does an inside day signal day does? Inside days can offer you continuation trades or reversal trades. So now as you guys can see, we had our daily signal. Okay. Now I have my session box starting at 9 p.m., which is the equity hours for the Asian session, because I don't even look at the charts during the first hour. The first hour, so the timing window, okay, the timing window, my session, I have it starting at 9 p.m., which is the equity hours, okay? That's the equity hour for the Asian session. Now, the timing window is from 8 to 11 p.m., all right? 8 to 11, all right? So now, as you guys can see here, that on the 15-minute time frame, we had a market that broke out. Okay, it broke out of this CP level, which was resistance, and then it acted as a support level. Okay, it was a resistance level. All right, because you see we broke underneath, and then now it became a support level. So at 9 p.m. during the equity hours, okay, we get a market that pushed up. All right, pushed to the upside, and then at 9:15 we get a market that give us a tweezer top. We get a bearish candle. These two candles form a tweezer top. Now, once I seen that, okay, I go to my 5-minute time frame. All right. Now, on the 5-minute time frame, you can see that this market went 1, 2, 3 engulfing. Okay. The 1, 2, 3 engulfing. But we need to wait until the 15-minute candle close. You want to wait until a 15-minute candle closure, because you can still see on this 5-minute candle, if you look at on the 15-minute time frame, this 15-minute candle has not closed. Okay, so what I'm using, and I'm utilizing the 5-minute entry criteria. So I would like to see a candle close back inside of the 20 EMA. So that's what I did. I waited until the market closed back inside. So I got a candle to close back inside the 20 EMA, and I took an entry here, and this was still over 100 points trade. Okay, it was still over 100-point trade. So if you got in up here after the 1, 2, 3 engulfing, some traders probably got in up here, okay? And it's discretionary trading. It's all up to you. But up here, it did not meet my entry criteria. Okay, it did not meet my entry criteria. So the entry criteria that I'm utilizing is the 5-minute entry criteria. So I need a candle to close back inside of the 20 EMA. We got that. We take our trade, okay? And I'm not holding on for ACB. I'm just looking to catch 50 to 100 points, and that's it. All right, so we had the trap and shift, all right, on that. So we get the trap, A top, trap and shift, sell high setup, all right, during the Asian session, all right. We had a market that pumped up, all right, it immediately reversed back to the downside, all right. We wait on our entry criteria, all right, which we need a candle to close back inside of our 20 EMA, and then we have our entry. Like I say, on a 15-minute time frame, same thing. You have a market that pumps up, right, and breaks back down, right? You get this candle right here. You can see that once this candle here closed, because this is a tweezer top. Like I said, depending on where this tweezer top is at, and depending on your skill level, you don't want to just trade off of a one candlestick pattern. Okay, this is a reversal pattern, but you want this tweezer top to be confirmed. So you got the tweezer top. This candle here would have confirmed it on a 15-minute time frame, and then this would have been your entry. All right, but like I say, it's discretionary trading. Some traders might have got this tweezer top and then they took an entry here, but it's all up to you guys. All right. I'm just showing you guys on what I do. Okay. I'm just showing you guys everything I show you is what I'm doing. All right. So we had on the 5-minute time frame, we had the 1, 2, 3 engulfing. I need to wait until a 15-minute candle closure. All right. Even though we got this engulfing on the 5-minute, but this is just the 5-minute time frame. I need a higher time frame. All right. To give me a closure. So I waited on the 15-minute candle to close, and I'm waiting to meet my entry criteria, which I need a candle to close back inside of the 20 EMA. We got that. And as you guys can see, even utilizing the 5-minute time frame, you still have the same entry as on the 15-minute time frame, right at closing price. And it was 100 over 100 point trade, stress-free trade. All right. And then as this continued, you can see that during the London session, they got the low-hanging fruit trade. All right. Now the second trade was on the same day. All right. Same day, same signal. All right. But it was during the New York session. Now the New York session did have some major red news out at 8:30 and 9:45. Okay. 8:30 and 9:45. Now, with the trade that happened during the New York session, like I said, we had the same daily signal, the inside day signal, where a market closes inside of a previous day's range. So we had the daily signal. So if you didn't trade the Asian or London session and you just wanted to wait in New York, so I don't really get up during this time, all right, during the London session, but I caught the Asian session trade, which we just went over. And then in the New York session, it was the dumping pump. As you can see on the 15-minute time frame, we had a market that dumped during Asia, okay, dumped during the London session, all right, breaks out of our previous day's low, all right, coil sideways. Now, I want you guys to see this pin hammer. This is a dead giveaway. You get a pin hammer here, right? Pin hammer. All right. Market proceeds to coil sideways. Major red news explodes back up to the upside. Now, this is if you trade first bounce entry. Okay. First bounce entry. All right. You got another pin hammer. You could have got in at 9 a.m. Okay. But for me, I'm at work. So, and I don't come to the chart. As you guys can see, my session I don't come to the session until 9 p.m. Okay, I'm at work, so this is when I will come to my chart at 9. And I'm waiting until after 9:30. Even on gold, even though I know gold starts a little earlier, but I'm still waiting until after 9:30. Those are just my rules for any instrument that I'm trading. I'm still waiting until after 9:30. So we had major red news out at 9:45. All right, so we had the market that pulled back. All right, we have a market that pulled back at 9:30. Pin hammer, 9:45. This was the major red news at 9:45. 10 a.m. club, we in there. All right, I'm in there. I was in there at the break of the high of this pin hammer. I was in there, and it was a nail and bell. All right, nail and bell session trade for me. This was still over another 100 points on this trade. All right, now if you see it on the 5-minute time frame, okay, now we utilizing the 5-minute entry criteria. We had the dump. All right, we had the dump in the first two sessions. We had the coil. All right, during the gap time, we had our major red news out. All right, you can already see we're back inside of the 20 EMA. All right, so entry criteria has been met. Now we just have to exercise patience and discipline and wait until our session. Wait until that session. As you guys can see, we had the pullback. All right, higher high, pullback. Now pay attention to all this here price action. How's price behaving at the level? All right. As you guys can see, we're at a 00 level where they're giving you a bunch of pin hammers sitting here. All right. You wait until after major red news. 10 a.m. you get another pin hammer. Boom. 10:05. Boom. And this is where I was in at. This is where I was in at for over 100 point move once again after major red news. And like I said, you could have traded the first bounce entry, but that is not a part of my rules. Okay. My rules state that I have to wait until after 9:30. Okay. I gotta wait until after 9:30. Those are my rules. Those are my rules that I set for myself. Okay. I'm waiting for any instrument that I trade. I'm waiting until after 9:30. Okay. And we can see that we had a nice dump coil pump trade on gold. So that's what we got. We got the nice dump and pump. We had the dump during the day. Okay. You had the dump, the coil, and the pump trade setup on gold on Free Cash Friday. All right. So we had the trap and shift during the Asian session. All right. If you traded London session, you got the low hanging fruit trade. All right. Then during the New York session, you got the dump, oil, and the pump trade setup. All right. Easy trade setup. This was an easy trade setup. We had a daily signal, inside day signal. We got a signal on the day as well because the market breached the previous day's low. Okay. We had major red news out at 8:30 a.m. All right. Price closes back inside about 20 EMA. All right. Entry criteria has been met. We're inside of the EMA. Now we just have to wait until the session opens and see how price is going to behave. The market puts in a higher high. New York session opens up. They dump it down. All right. We wait until after 9:45 because we had major red news out at 9:45. And as you can see, pin hammer, pin hammer, pin hammer. Look at all the rejections. Another pin hammer at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. club. 10:05. You're in. Session trade. Get your 150 to 100 points and you're done. Okay. So those are the two trades that I caught last week on gold. Like I said, the market showed its hand on these two trade setups, and this is the reason why I took them. Two easy trade setups. All right. The daily signal was there, the inside day. All right. The trap and shift during the Asian session. Then the dump, the coil pump during the New York session. So hope you guys got some value out of this video, man. Like I said, I just wanted to keep this video real short and sweet for you guys. Like I said, I'm only looking forward to two signal days. Like I always tell you guys, closing breakout and inside day, and the setup is the same. It's either trap and shift, A top, V bottom, or dump coil pump. All right. Those are the only two setups that I'm looking for. All right. All right. Those are the only two. Now you can choose whichever ones that you like to look for. All right. But those are the only two that I'm looking for. And that's all I got. Like I said, I hope you guys get some value out of this video. If so, man, leave a comment down below. All right. Like always, man, work hard, stay disciplined, and be patient, and know that your time will come. Peace and love. Have a good one.